First, the big picture. The Model Y L is the stretched 3-row 6-seat version of the world's best-selling EV. I've been saying this for a long time now. Before it even went on sale, it's a bargain. It's a very good price for what you get. Whether that's in China or Australia or Europe, it'll soon be out there, or the US. It's 7 inches longer overall with a 6-inch longer wheelbase, and it launched in the US last month as a fully loaded launch series for 62,000 US dollars. That's around 95,000 Australian. Here in Australia, it's the regular version is 75,000. So it's a little bit more pricey in the US, at least the launch version anyway. Display units are already in Tesla stores across the states, with first delivery starting in September. And according to Tesla's VP of Engineering, Lars Moravy, the launch series is nearly sold out. I suspect by the time it goes on sale, the launch series will have sold out, almost certainly. So what's different about the American-built car? The first change is a new wheel option, 20-inch Uberhelix wheels with a fully enclosed aero design. Normally, jumping from 19s to 20s costs you real range because the Chinese version, the Shanghai version, has 19-inch rims. But here, the penalty, surprisingly, is only 5 miles, dropping the EPA figure from 325 miles to 320 miles. That means you get around 523 kilometers of range EPA, down from 515. That's how good the aero design is. Plus, the tires, sometimes you can have a 1-inch difference in rim size, but because the tire profile is smaller, the actual overall circumference doesn't increase by very much. And I think that's what Tesla has done here. The second change is one people will complain about, most likely. The Chinese-built Model Y L comes with next-generation wireless phone chargers, particularly actively air-cooled pads, pushing a peak of 50 watts. Guys, my phone, because I've used too many phone chargers in cars that don't have cooling, my battery is cooked. Like now my battery has lost 30% of its capacity. It's a pretty new phone because I've used it on these stupid charging pads that don't have any cooling on them. So the Shanghai version does have cooling, but on the Electric Viking website, I'll put a link in the description below. We have more articles about electric cars and battery technology than any other website that I'm aware of in the world. So check that out. Link is in the description. And there you'll find our videos and analysis and articles about everything going on in the EV world. The American version of the Model Y L has 15 watt pads, down from 50, with no cooling. Strange. So why? Moravy says American smartphones simply haven't adopted high wattage QI charging the way phones in Asia have. So Tesla isn't fitting hardware most owners can't use yet. It's just doing it to save money, obviously. Is that even true? I mean, the iPhone that's sold in the US can use that kind of 50 watt wireless charging. So I don't know what he's saying here. Anyhow, the good news is Tesla has confirmed the 50 watt cooled pads will come to North American cars later, and the upgraded hardware will roll out across the entire Tesla lineup around the same time. In other words, if you buy the launch version of this car, you're getting, in one way, an inferior product to what you're going to get in a few months' time. Now, the stuff the American car does brilliantly. Sawyer Merritt got hands-on with a US build and says the third row space will genuinely surprise you. The second row is the most comfortable Tesla has ever made, according to him, and it has premium features even the 6-seat Model X never had. The rear spoiler is integrated into the body shell rather than glued on, which adds 15 miles of range. And because it houses the brake light, it has freed up 3 extra inches of third row headroom compared to the standard Model Y. That's more headroom back there than the Model X, which was previously Tesla's roomiest car. So don't pay too much attention to some of the naysayers saying that the third row is tiny and cramped. It's actually not that bad. The core specs. The US battery appears to be smaller. The battery for the Chinese one is an 88 kilowatt hour NMC battery, and the US battery is an 83 kilowatt hour battery. So thus, it's going to have a bit less range. 0 to 60 miles an hour takes 4.4 seconds. That's around 4.5, 4.6 for the 0 to 100 kilometer an hour sprint. But that means this car's a little bit faster than the Chinese Shanghai-made version. Other differences are, well, not really. There isn't really any other significant ones. It's really the battery is different, the performance is a little different, the charging pads and the wheels. Those are the four main differences. Both cars have 250 kilowatt charging. 10 to 80% charge takes around 31 minutes, not particularly quick, is it? 89 cubic feet of total cargo space, which is massive. An 18 speaker sound system with a subwoofer and a second row center speaker under the rear touchscreen, and an 8 camera array, including a front bumper camera with its own washer. That's pretty important. That's the big downside of a lot of EVs these days. The cameras get dirty, even on cars with radars and sensors. When the cameras get dirty, the cars, their own self-driving systems don't work very well. So having that front washer is actually really significant. Here's the thing. Tesla killed the Model X, and this is clearly the replacement. A genuinely roomy 3-row family EV for roughly half the money the X used to cost. So I think it's a good move. The Kia EV9 and the Hyundai Ioniq 9 both undercut the launch version on price, but neither matches the acceleration, the charging network, or the range of this car. If Tesla follows its usual playbook and cheaper trims follow the launch series, this thing is going to be a monster for American families. It's got to be the best value 3-row electric vehicle in the US, as it is here in Australia as well. Would you take one of these over an EV9? Let me know in the comments. Here in Australia, the EV9 and the Hyundai Ioniq 9, they are both more expensive than the Model Y, significantly more expensive, but that's not the case in the United States. Thanks for watching. Need expert advice on what car to buy, what solar system to get, what home battery to get, or potentially for your business? You can get, guys, a one-on-one consultation directly with me, 60 minutes of tailored guidance. This might help you avoid making a huge mistake spending money when you shouldn't, or potentially save you a massive amount of money. Click the link in the description below because I can assist you, and why not? The link is in the description. Thinking about getting solar, a home battery, or an EV charger? Check out Australia's best free comparison tool because it could save you a lot of money. Guys, click on the link below in the description and you can see how much you can save. Alternatively, give Resync a call. They are the guys who installed my battery and my home solar. I'll put a link to them as well in the description.